Right, hi both. This is a translation for you to do that's based on what happened over the weekend where there were local elections in Spain and the current party that held most of the power, the PSOE, which is like a left-wing party, has lost an enormous amount of seats. Now the word for seats in the political sense are escaños. Escaños are seats in government, whether it be that a local government or a national government. So they've lost loads and loads of seats, mainly to the sort of centre-right party, El Partido Popular, who, though, won an awful lot but didn't win enough to govern alone, who therefore have to be supported by Vox. So I bet if you follow Spanish news, this is going to be in the news for months and months and months to come now. So a pretty important day in recent Spanish political history. So anyway, I've written this on it. I want you to translate it. So I'm going to pause it now. I think everything in there is fine. I think you should be careful. There is a subjunctive in there. I'm looking at it back now. I think everything in there is fine. Just that escaño. And the only other thing to bear in mind as well is this weekend's local elections in Spain have generated a lot of controversy throughout the country as the governing party. That as, just be careful about how you translate that as in the second line. Okay? So pause the video now. Have a go at it, and then I'll show you my translation. But just remember, there's no such one right or wrong translation. There are different ways you can do it. I'm going to show you how I've done it, but that doesn't mean to say that if you've done it slightly differently that's any worse. Okay, so pause it now, then we'll have a look at what I've done. Okay, so what I did this one. Las elecciones locales de este fin de semana en España han generado mucha polémica. Just be careful, controversy on its own is always feminine. Mucha polémica. Now I put these two down here. Por todo el país or alrededor del país, either or. Now I did this as dado que. You could have done ya que or you could have done porque. I wouldn't have used como though. Como is more like. So I used dado que, but as I said, you could have used ya que or porque. Dado que el partido gobernante, governing, and gobernar is the verb to govern, so gobernante is governing, not governing, governing, el PSOE, and that stands for El Partido Socialista Obrero Española, ha perdido la mayoría de sus escaños en los gobiernos locales. So, a fair bit of the perfect tense here, which I'm sure you were fine with. Se espera que el PP forme. Now this is the subjunctive here. In English we use the future. Where we use in Spanish se espera que, the most common way of using that is se espera que, and then the present tense in the subjunctive, even though you're talking about the future, it's future because it's subjunctive, so we know it's not happened yet. So se espera que el PP forme una coalición. If you can hear weird noises in the background, that's my dog going mental. So I apologize about that. Se espera que el PP forme una coalición con Vox para gobernar en muchas partes del país que han sido tradicionalmente socialistas. Again, perfect tense in here. Now we will have to wait to see. Now there's a couple of ways you could have done this. I put two ways on here. Habrá que esperar. So that's the future of hay que esperar. Actually, we could have used hay que esperar there as well. That would work as well. So actually, even though I've only got two on there, let's add that third to it. So we could have had hay que esperar, habrá que esperar, tendremos que esperar. You could have even put se tendrá or se tiene que esperar. One would have to wait. So they're all perfectly legitimate and valid ways of translating that. If you've got any questions on that, just drop me an email with how you did it. Que esperar a ver. Now, do you remember we saw this phrase? How long something takes, we use the verb tardar. So, tendremos que esperar a ver cuánto tarda. Now, I've put on here present tense, but you could have also used the future tense as well. Cuánto tarda, cuánto tardará. How long it will take, how long it takes. Either or are fine. Este proceso, pero según la mayoría de los periódicos nacionales, los resultados eran de esperar, ya que los votantes querían. Now, to punish. We know castigo is punishment, castigar is to punish. Al PSOE por años Now there's a mistake there. That should say mala gestión económica, social y política. So that's also correct. That should say mala gestión económica, social y política, because gestión is management, and ION words are always feminine. Okay, so that's how I've done it. That's not to say that's the only way you can do it. So if you want to show me what you've done, please feel free. I'll get it back to you as soon as I can. Okay, have a good day.